Hey guys, midterm here, back with another video, and today I just won this beautiful Tempest midterm paradox speed duel playmat in a midterm paradox release event, and I'm going to be showing you guys the deck that I used to get the dub. It was a pretty successful event. It was actually only 3 rounds and I won all 3. However, we did do a few unofficial rounds after and before as well, and I won all but one of those as well. This deck was really good, and it was a 1-box event. I will probably, when I get more boxes, do a multiple box version of this deck because of how good it was, and obviously that'll be more optimized for future. But honestly, if you can only afford 1 box, or you only have 1 box and you don't want to go too crazy with Speed Duels, this deck is still really decent, a whole lot of fun, and it's both competitive and janky, but like in a good way. So it's not just the same 2 combos over and over. You've got all sorts of different ways to play, and it's really fun at the same time. So I am an avid Virkroyd player. I even play it in normal master format, and I got top 8. Really proud of that, to be honest. I love the deck. But we're carrying that over with Speed Duels. We're running the Roids are alright skill. Now at first glance this is probably one of the worst skills in the set, but that's at first glance. This skill is ridiculously strong, and I just loved it the more I used it. I mainly didn't use Power Bond or the Megaroid City one just because I wanted to see what the new skill has. Let me tell you, it's crazy. So the first effect doesn't come up that often, 1 because you only get 1 copy of it in the deck, but 2, you would probably use polymerization in a fully optimized build because of 1 reason, but you can still use Virkroyd Connection Zone. I'll go over that in more detail in a couple of seconds. But yeah, Virkroyd Connection Zone can be used to fusion summon any Roid fusion monster from your extra deck. Pretty good. All Roid monsters whose original level is 6 or lower can be normal summoned or set without tributing. Really good. That lets you get UFO Roid and Rescue Roid out with 0 tributes. And if a non-fusion Roid machine monster you control whose original attack is level is 6 or lower attacks on post monster gains attack equal to its own level times 100 during that damage step over. If you control a non-machine, however, you have to flip this card over. Which is fine, that doesn't really come into effect. You do have to watch out with 1 card though, and that's why you might run Virkroyd Connection Zone. But at that point you are pretty much solid anyway. If you bring in him out, you've pretty much won the game, essentially. So yeah, the only way this skill will hinder you is if it gets deactivated and you can't close the game out in that time. So for starters, we're running Steamroid. Steamroid was honestly the MVP of the day. I didn't think he would be. He never really has been for me. It always ends up being more of a hindrance. So Steamroid is an 1800 attack and defense monster, level 4, who gains 500 attack when attacking, but then loses 500 attack when being attacked. The really cool thing you can do though is with the Roids Are Alright buffing it by 400 for its level, that basically buffs it up to 2,700 attack when attacking an opponent's monster on a level 4 normal summon. That is crazy. This was taking names and destroying all sorts of cards today. And yeah, just all around amazing, absolute champ, MVP. We then have Rescue Roid, level 6. Basically, the effect doesn't come into effect, well, yeah, it's not used much where when something dies it comes back to hand. We're running it for 2 reasons. It's fusion material for Ambulance Rescue Roid, which is a decent fusion monster, but it's 1600 and level 6, so when attacking that boosts up to 2200. Because of the skill it's a normal summon too, so a 2200 normal summon that doesn't get debuffed when being attacked. These are your main beaters of the deck. Which is pretty funny. We then run UFO Roid. UFO Roid is a similar situation at 1200, level 6, that boosts it to 18. It is a fusion material for the win condition, however, which makes it a little better. Sorry, camera's not focusing. Also, when it's destroyed by battle and sent to grave, you get special from the machine with 1500 or less attack from deck and attack range. That doesn't, well, that didn't run today. It would normally, but whatever. It's a very good card nonetheless. And in a more optimized build, I would be running more of this. We then run one drill roid. I could have run two because I did pull a secret rare, because it's a one box format. You are allowed to run your secret rares, but I didn't need to. Drill roid was actually really good too. This helps, well, whenever this attacks a defense position, once you can kill it with this kind of effect first. It's also 1600 level 4 anyway, so that's a 2k attacker when it's attacking opponent's monster. And it can kill anything in defense, which is really good. That does tie in with one of the trap cards I'm in the deck also. But yeah, 2k attack, pop any defense thing, helps you attack into sets quite nicely. Obviously a bit more dangerous in a non-midterm paradox format where things like Old Vindictive Magician are about, but nonetheless very cool, very nice. We then have Mixeroid. This can do all sorts of fusion shenanigans in the grave. It can get rid of a machine on field and swap it into a roid, which is pretty nice also, and it has 2200 defense, which is huge for Speed Duels. Just literally just setting this face down can cause all sorts of problems for people. So that's kind of nice. We then have Submarine Roid, pretty similar again. Level 4, 800 attack, it can attack directly and then swap into defense. That's cool, I guess. I really like the card, I love how it works. I played it in countless decks similar to this, but at the end of the day it's not great, but it's pretty cool. We then run Gyroid. Gyroid I think was in the GX Duel Academy box as well. It's 1000 attack, 1000 defense, level 3. If it gets attacked, it can survive the first one. So a bit of stall for you there. Then we've got the infamous combo that I love oh so much. Ambulance Roid, when something's added to hand, is it added to hand, sorry? From grave to hand, yeah. You can special summon it. Express Roid, you can add 2 from grave to hand. So that's pretty cool. Didn't come into play at all, honestly, today, and I'm not sure if you can really do it in Speed Duel with only being 3 zones. I'd have to check if it's mandatory. Truckroid, level 4, 1k attack. It can attack something. If it does, it equips it, it gains the attack. It's like Relinquish, but it can have multiple things equipped, I believe. Yes, it can, so that's really cool. Just watch out you don't take up all of your spell and trap zones. And then finally, we have a Stealth Roid who can basically attack and then at the end of the battle phase pop a spell or trap, which is like, okay, it's 1200 and level 4, so it can pump itself up to 16. A lot of these you probably cut out in a more optimized build. I would probably say you'd be looking at probably these 5 primarily. Sorry, the light is annoying. Yeah, so these are the 5 you'd be looking at: Steam Roid, Rescue Roid, Drill Roid, UFO Roid, Mixer Roid. You'd probably want to max out on UFO Roid, maybe have 2-3 Steam Roids, maybe drop Rescue Roid, at least 1 Drill Roid, maybe 2, and probably 1 Mixer Roid. So next in the deck we do have a few non-machines, so be careful bringing these out, they will deactivate your skill. Elemental Hero Blazeman. On normal summons, searches you Polymerization, which is really useful. Also, it can send a warrior from, elemental hero from deck to grave, copies its stats and attribute for the turn. So what you can do is send Blade Edge to the grave, and get a level 4 with 2600 for the entire turn, which is pretty nice. But there's also a second reason we're running Blade Edge, and that is UFO Roid Fighter, a fusion, machine fusion. It's Roid as well, so it can be brought out with via Craig Connection Zone if you desire. That copies the stats, the combined stats of a UFO Roid and a 1 warrior monster. That's the requirements, and its stats become the combined stats of those two. So UFO Roid at 12 plus 26 gets you a 3800 fusion, which is pretty nice. Also, we are running a brick, but this won me 2 games, so that is super nice. Gate Guardian, same reason, it's a warrior for some reason, and Gate Guardian with 3750 plus the 12 on UFO Roid puts you at 4950. You can pretty much just one-shot close out games with Gate Guardian, and you can not Gate Guardian, sorry, UFO Roid Fighter, and you can protect it with various trap cards as well, or spells. But yeah, again, be warned, depending on how you fuse into it, if you don't hard hand fuse it, you search the poly with the Blazeman, you will deactivate your Roids Are Alright skill, but that's not an issue really, as a lot of the effects don't apply to UFO Roid Fighter because he's so big anyway. So the premise is, you do your combos to stall with your Roids until you can safe and consistently get these three into a UFO Roid Fighter with obviously UFO Roid, and then you just close out the game from there. For spells, we ran 1 Polymerization because there's only 1 in the box. You would probably run 2, 3, but if you don't want Blazeman, then you would run 3 Vehicle Connections instead. I ran a mix purely because there was only 1 of each in the box. This again is just down if you want to play Blazeman at the expense of potentially shutting down your skill. But if you're confident that by the time you're bringing out Blazeman, you're just going to close out the game there and then, run Polymerization because it's searchable. You could at the same time just run a different skill as well, but like, I really like this skill. It did help bring up a lot of these 4-star Roids into absolute monsters. Vehicle Connection Zone is nice. It basically, because the Roids Are Alright lets you bring out any Roid fusion monster with this thing, it's a lot better, and that card that you fusion summon can't be destroyed by card effect, and its effects can't be negated. So it basically keeps it at its high stats and can't be popped by something like a Widespread Ruin, which is nice, but it can still be hit by stuff like a Book of Moon, sadly. Finally, for spells, we have a disposable learner device. This was just to help beat over things. Anything equipped with it gains 200 attack for each monster in grave. If you go into late game, you can have quite a few in grave, so it's just a nice end game card, or a nice little 200 boost, which sometimes is actually all you need. And then finally, for traps, we have 1 Supercharge, which I probably wouldn't run in an optimal build, but in a 1-box format where you only have 1 copy of all the cards, this is so good. If they so much as try to attack a Roid monster, you draw 2. Now, that is just absolutely crazy. Like, let me just shuffle real quick here. Just a little simple shuffle. Draw 2 from Supercharge. Let's see what we got. A Blazeman and a Learner Device. That's a free poly right there. That can get you a game end right there. We then run an Emergeroid Call. This is a counter trap, so super fast spell speed, pretty much untouchable. When a spell trap or monster effect is activated while you control Roid Fusion, negate the activation, and it basically stops. It rips all the copies of that card from your opponent's deck. Really, really nice counter trap. But in this deck, it's not great because you're not really able to consistently get out Roid Fusions down to the lack of consistency in the deck. In an optimal build, you'd probably run multiple copies happily because again, it'd probably be super easy to get Roid Fusions out. We then run Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. It's basically just a counter trap that stops spells. It does get rid of your opponent can't activate spells with the same name for the rest of this duel. It's a nice bonus effect, but in a 1-box format that won't really come up. It's a nice counter trap, however, nonetheless, and in different formats it's going to be just better and better. And then finally, Labyrinth of Nightmare. This card is really good in this deck. I've not seen anyone using it yet. I highly recommend you do. Once per turn during the end phase, change the battle positions of all face-up monsters on the turn player controls. So, why would you do that? Well, Joroid 1616, Rescue Roid 1618, Steamroid 1818, but it doesn't lose defense when being attacked. UFO Roid 1212, Stealth Roid you probably wouldn't play. Truck, but it's 12-0. Truck Roid is 1000, 2000, Express Roid is 400, 1600, Ambulance Roid is 300, 1200, Gyroids 1-1, Submarines 8-18. So basically, you're not going to be affected by your monsters having their battle positions changed, but you can really benefit from changing your opponent's monsters' battle positions, purely for disruption reasons, but also they're probably attacking you if you're using the trap, and then Joroid can just insta-wipe them off the field, so all in all that's nice. Finally, for the extra deck, we have UFO Roid Fighter, obviously. That's the win condition of the deck. You basically just want to stall until you can bring that out and win. Ambulance Rescue Roid, because it's the better level 6 of the Roid fusions out of that Steam Gyroid, because it's got better stat line and an effect which does come up occasionally. Plus, I really like having both of those in my deck for now. But even if I didn't and I had an optimal build, I probably wouldn't run Gyroid or Ambulance Roid or Rescue Roid, maybe Steam Roid, so I'd still just pick the better of the level 6s. Then got Elemental Hero Necroid Shaman. Yes, this counts as a Roid, absolutely crazy. You bring these two out off of Mixeroid, really. You can hard poly this in this deck, but in an optimal build you couldn't. Another one that you bring off of Mixeroid is Super Vicroid Jumbo Drill. Again, you can hard poly it, but you probably wouldn't in an optimal build. It's pretty good though, it does pierce and battle damage. And then finally, Elemental Hero Nova Master, which is a Elemental Hero and a Fire Monster for a couple circumstances. If you hard brick, draw Blade Edge and Blazeman, so Blazeman can't get the super buff. You can fuse into Nova Master, who gives you draw power, but this will stop this skill working. And also you can do a Elemental Hero and Rescue Roid, because that's a Fire Monster, so that's a nice little cheeky combo there. That is the deck list. Again, I won 5 rounds, lost 1, got this beautiful map. So if you want to see more decks like this, if there's any midterm Paradox decks you want to see me make, or have tips on, or anything like that, let me know. If you want to know my matchups, everyone else at the event was playing some form of Water Dragon. Some were going for a more Water Dinosaur build, some were going for a pure Water Dragon build. They were having different aims, but all their decks were very similar, and then I just came in with Vicroids and absolutely kicked ass, which I'm really happy about. And yeah, I hope to see you guys again soon. Let me know if you enjoyed, let me know what you want to see. Hope to see you again on this channel at some point, whether that's Yu-Gi-Oh!, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Master Duel, or any other gaming content I do in this channel. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.